eating. Let's talk about that first. I want to talk about that because the first one I'm going to start by myself, and then from there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start picking topics for people based on what they want to know, right, or what they've been going through. And because of that, I want to make sure that, of course, right when I'm about to go live and people know that I'm about to go live, all of a sudden my alerts and notifications start to go off. That's another thing, is that I want to make sure that notifications just don't just get off of this whole notification thing. So I'm going to silence everything right now. How do I do that again? Here I am, tech guy, and there we go, notification value. All right, cool. So I have my links up here. I'm streaming on YouTube right now for the first time. Streaming also on TikTok, of course. That's my platform that I like to talk on. So the main thing is that I want to make sure that you can hear me. If you can hear me, first and foremost, just press 1. That way I know. Good morning, Brandy. Thank you so much. Now, I will say this. I want you guys to go and have a drink with me. Now, the main thing is that with 30 minutes that I do have, I want to, okay, Dallas, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. The main thing is that when I'm talking today on live, let me get this keyboard out the way because I don't need it. I'm here in my office, and I want to start doing more of these because there's a lot of people right now who are going through now what I used to go through on my weight loss journey. If you do not know who I am, I've lost 130 pounds. I am a fat loss and weight loss expert and coach. I help people from all over the world, men and women, who are busy professionals with hectic schedules, looking to lose weight, lose body fat, feel much better in their life. Okay. It's a healthy lifestyle. Okay. I'm not like a weight loss clinic guy. I'm not like, hey, if you want to lose 5 pounds, just do this, right? I don't advocate for quick fixes. None of that. So I will take my time on explaining one simple thing that a lot of people are struggling with right now. So I want you to please continue to share. I'm also going live right now on YouTube. So if you want to go to my Coaching by Drake on YouTube, please subscribe because I'm going to be doing a lot more of these, and invite people, right? Because there's a lot of people who are struggling right now with weight loss, fat loss, feeling better, making sure that they can get from where they are to where they want to be. Okay. So while you guys are jumping in, thank you so much. I want to ask a question, but I also want to give the topic at hand. The question that I have for you right now is, when it comes to fat loss, when it comes to weight loss, when it comes to feeling better, what is your biggest struggle when it comes to fat loss, weight loss? Is it nutrition? Is it exercise? Is it timing? Right? Which is what I'm going to talk about today. Thank you guys for tapping the screen. I appreciate it very, very much. What is it exactly? And while you guys type that in, I'm going to go ahead and pour my Unimati in right now. I'm still doing I can't say that on here. Somebody said sweets. Okay. Right now I'm doing time-based eating. I got to be very careful of what I say when I'm going live because I don't want to get throttled. I don't want to get kicked off. I don't want people to start leaving based off of what the algorithm says. Okay. So I got to be very, very careful. But the initials IF is what I'm doing right now. So good morning to everybody who's part of my Feel Great fam. I'm going to go ahead and get my drink on, right? So somebody says sweets. What else is there when it comes to your biggest struggle when it comes to fat loss, weight loss? And I like to cover all different topics. Exercise, which is best for female, not trying to look like a bodybuilder. Yeah. And we could, I would love to talk about that. I would definitely write that down. Let me see. Women who don't want to look like bodybuilders. Okay. And as I write that down, one thing that I will say, I may not answer a lot of questions. So because I just want to get to a specific topic, kind of being all over the place can cause a lot of distraction and for people to leave. So I want to make sure that I do stick with that. Thank you for sending that to me. The main thing is that just to touch on it a little bit, if you are exercising, if you are feeding your body the right way, micronutrients, macronutrients, you don't have to worry about looking like a bodybuilder. Okay. Thank you, Brandy. I appreciate it. Thank you. You don't have to worry about looking like a bodybuilder. The only time that women will start to look like a bodybuilder is if they're taking certain medications, certain performance enhancing drugs, okay, PEDs. But if you're doing everything a certain way and you're eating the right meals, right nutrition, I'm not talking about diets, okay? I'm not into diets. But if you're macronutrients, if you're taking in your macronutrients, which are your proteins, fats, and carbohydrates, remember to tap the screen and show some love, y'all. If you're eating the right macronutrients, which helps a lot with the external, right? Proteins, fats, and carbs. If you're taking care of your gut health with micronutrients, vitamins, minerals, and all the 7 different fibers, all the fibers in your body, you don't have to worry about looking like a bodybuilder. But you do want to look defined and toned, right? The first thing that came out is I don't want to look like, right? But you do want to look good, right? What I wanted to talk about, in specific is that, there's a lot of stuff now that I'm on here. There's some good topics, good questions. Okay. And here's what I encourage you to do, because I already have a topic that I want to discuss and I'm getting your information here. Like as far as your feedback, I want to make sure that if you can, please, good morning. Take the question like I see Madi. She says, strenuous exercises V shed makes you do with bad knees. I'm not sure what that means, but copy that, what you just said, and send it to me in Instagram. Okay. My Instagram is right here. It's also Coaching by Drake. My YouTube is Coaching by Drake. Everything is Coaching by Drake. Okay. Lauren said, I love Feel Great System. And it's only been 3 weeks. Okay. So you know what, here's what I'll do. I'll do a little bit of change of topic. Okay. So send it to me on Instagram. So let's do this. Because the other topic I was going to talk about is very relative, but I can always push that to the side. It seems like a good topic is PEDs, right? Or supplements. Let's talk about that for a little bit. If we could talk about, are you guys cool with that? If I talk about supplements, I'll start talking about it if we can get to 1,000 likes. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? If you see me looking a certain way, it's simply because I'm doing 2 different channels right now, my YouTube and TikTok, right? I really do want to be able to get more on both, especially YouTube. Okay. So here's what I'm going to talk about when it comes to PEDs, right? And anything else outside of that, I'm not going to start going off and talking about apples or talking about books and motivational messages. I'm going to strictly talk about PEDs. Okay. So how many ladies do we have on here? Because this will really help a lot of women. Because I know a lot of women are, like, I don't want to look like a bodybuilder. I don't want to look like, I want to look defined and toned. Yes, we did. Boom, 1,000 likes. Thank you. I'm going to put my Instagram on my phone too. Yes. Explain what PEDs are. Yeah. So performance enhancing drugs. Okay. I'll give you a what is and what is not. Okay. So I have my Instagram open. So y'all copy and paste your questions. Okay. And you can give me a follow too. That'll be nice. I know I'm kind of having you go all over the place, but I would say if anything, YouTube would be the most important. So performance enhancing drugs, things that's going to help you. Modaria. I think you have a question. Okay. So performance enhancing drug, PEDs. What is that, right? There are different performance enhancing drugs that's going to help accelerate for any type of sport, any type of competition. There are people who are in the sports industry who may take something that will help them go faster, more than normal, right? But it's not long lasting. Okay. Now I have to be very careful while I'm on these platforms and not say which kind of, like, I don't want to start naming things because then that's how I start getting kicked off. So I'm not going to do that. And I'm not promoting any of that. Okay. But what I will say is that typically, if you're going to take a certain performance enhancing drug to get stronger, or to Instagram, DJ Mouse Instagram, send me a DM, to get stronger, to get faster, to get bigger, right? Those are performance enhancing drugs that are not for the long run. They are more for the quick fix. Okay. Now, is a pre-workout a performance enhancing drug? No, it's not. It's simply a pre-workout. I don't take pre-workout anymore. I used to, but I just realized that it was a quick spike and then a crash, right? It got the job done, but then I suffered from the effects later. Creatine is a natural thing in your body, right? So we can get creatine from food. We have creatine naturally in our body. So if you are taking creatine and it helps fills up your cells, that is not a performance enhancing drug. However, you don't want to take it for a lengthy amount of time. And the reason why I say that, because if you're looking to like lose fat, if you're looking to lose weight, that can really mess with you mentally because your cells are filling up, right? You'll gain more strength, but water retention is what you're going to take a lot of, especially if you're not drinking a lot of water. You have to drink a lot of water when you're taking creatine. So those are more like off and on type of sprints if you're taking the creatine powder, but it's not a performance enhancing drug. Okay. However, there are people who are like, hey, like I take creatine, but I've noticed the number on the scale isn't moving. Well, yeah, that's because now you're feeling more bloated and fluffy and blurry because your cells are filled up with a lot of water, right? And it's holding on. So, but you're stronger, right? But now it's time to start getting off, right? And I coach one of my guys. He was struggling with that. And then behind the scenes, he finally came out and said, yeah, I've been taking creatine for a couple of weeks. And I said, why are you taking creatine? Well, I thought it'd be part of like, what I'm doing for my exercises and stuff. Good morning. And I was like, that's not part of the plan that I've customized for you. So you need to get off of that, right? He got off of it and then he started to notice a change, right? So when you have a simple structure, a plan, and you have someone holding you accountable and know what you need to do in order for you to get to where you want to be, you just have to follow the plan. So if you are, ladies, if you are lifting weights, if you're working out and you're giving your body, if you're giving your body the right, if you're like, I'm gonna take good measurements, right, and I'm gonna do it once a week, right, and the reason why I say once a week, because you don't want all of this to control your life. You want to be able to control it as part of your life. There's a lot of other things taking place, and you just don't want to be so obsessed that you're literally just like focused on that, and it can cause a lot of head spin. Weighing yourself every day, weighing yourself twice a day, weighing yourself 3 times a day. I used to go through that. I was so addicted to it that it messed me up mentally, and it ended up getting me in trouble with my wife. So she's like, you got too small. And she was right. Looking back, she was right. Okay. So just kind of going back, when it comes to if you're giving your body your proteins, fats, and carbohydrates, your macronutrients, and then you're giving your body in your gut health, right? Micronutrients, and you're exercising. Let's say if you're exercising 3 or 4 days a week, you'll be able to look defined and toned, right? As people like to use that word, toned, but you won't look like a bodybuilder. When you start adding chemicals, I guess that's the best way to say it, chemicals that are enhancing pretty quickly to your body, then yeah, you'll start to look like a bodybuilder, especially if you're doing tons of it. So the chances of you looking like a bodybuilder and you're doing everything naturally are like very slim to none. Okay. Good almost afternoon. Awesome. Yes. And it causes it. Yeah. And I suffered through a lot of that. I went through a lot of body dysmorphia, etc. So somebody asked, what was the best way to clean your gut? And I think I can move on a little bit now from the PEDs. I just wanted to get just kind of get you guys a little bit affiliated with that, because I know that was a great question that someone asked. Another question was, what's the best way to clean your gut? Dang, we only got 50-something people on here. We need to get more people. And, if you guys keep tapping and liking, that's what brings more people on. TikTok would be like, hey, let's see what this guy has going on. I would encourage, do not take. So I'm all about the long run, right? I'm all about the lifestyle. At 46 years old, I'm all about longevity. Okay. If you're looking at longevity, if you're looking at a healthy lifestyle, I would encourage you not to rely on PEDs, because what's happening is that once you look a certain way based off of the PEDs, you can get addicted to that. And like someone said earlier, it causes body dysmorphia. I think that was Lindsay. It could cause body dysmorphia to the point where that's all you're stressing on is continuing to look like that. Good morning. Good morning to you all. I saw it just now while I have my Instagram. It was open. Yeah. So I do have my Instagram open now. But what I'm saying is that, once you see a certain look, and and you know that taking the PEDs are going to get you there, it's hard to get off. You don't want that. You want to be able to take the time, because over the course of time, let me go back real quick and let me show you guys a picture. And I've shown this quite a bit. I'm not showing it on YouTube here. But I'm gonna show you a picture real fast of my transformation. And I actually made an error. I said it took 2 years. It actually took me 16 months. Sorry, this was in December of 2020, and this was in November of 2021. So 11 months. I apologize. Right. So what I'm showing on my TikTok right now is that this transformation right here, this is for men and women, is that this took time, and my back transformation, it took time, but I learned a lot during that course of time on how to build my back, how to nourish my body, what workout specifically to do in order for me to focus on my back. The same with my chest, the same with my legs. And during that course of time, if you're looking at almost a year plus to transform your body, that's a year plus of me learning from mistakes that I've made, learning from not what to eat, right? Learning different workouts. It didn't just happen in 6 weeks. So now that I've taken all of that time to learn, I can now take that, help somebody else do it the right way, the natural way, but expedite the process, because I'm now the teacher teaching the next student. Before, I was a student learning from someone else as the teacher, which is my brother Dorian. So when he's taught me all these different workouts and I'm working out with other people and we're building this community, that's how I was able to learn. There's no reason to try to expedite a process when it comes to your body, when it comes to your mentality, because it will throw you in for a tailspin. You don't know the side effects of what these things can cause. You don't know if you're going to get back knee, acne. I've seen so many people that take it, and I know signs of people who take PEDs. And when they take it, I could tell right away, because the industry that I was in before in professional wrestling, it's very evident and clear. So I don't want that type of stuff. I don't want acne on my back. I don't want like fluffy eyebrows and fluffy elbow tips. I don't want rage for no reason. You know what I mean? I'm in it for the long run, right? At 46, what am I going to look like when I'm 56? What about when I'm 66? And I don't want to look in the mirror and be like, yeah, when I was on stage, this is how I look thanks to this, but now I'm not taking that anymore, so I look like this, right? Your body will change because you're not taking those enhancers to get you to where you were. So now you have to come down, and it's really a cycle that a lot of people may not talk about it too much, but deep down inside, they know that they feel a little bit guilty because it's body dysmorphia, right? And even now, when I feel at I don't want to say prime, but I do appreciate the way I look and feel, but I still have a body dysmorphia at times, right? Because I used to be very, very heavy and obese, and just full of transparency, right? But I've tried in the past, when I was looking for those quick fix, when I was looking for, I'll answer that in a second. Okay. When I was looking for the quick fix, there was these products called Superbolin, Epibolin, and I forgot the other one, but it was like pretty much like near steroids. And one will make you stronger, but it would put on a gang of water weight. The other one would help cut you down. So I was going through ups and downs. And next thing you know, I look blurry for 2 months, and then I will look leaner for 2 months, and then I'd be blurry and leaner. Well, you know what? They took that product off the shelf. Now I didn't know what to do. I was relying on a PED that's for the quick fix, and it ended up turning into a long-term disaster because I was like, ooh, I needed that, right? But the main thing is that when I was relying on that, I took the focus off of my habits, right? So I guess some people will say like a crutch, right? So now when I'm looking at the long run and the healthy lifestyle, I know it's going to take time. I know I'll get there, because now I focus on the micro habits, right? And the micro habits are getting me to where I want to be. But now that I know how to do it and master it, it makes it a lot easier for me to do it on a daily basis. because it's a very simple routine. And now I take that and I teach other people how to do that as well, because it does start here. No matter what people say, you don't just get up and be like, okay, caloric deficit day. Like, you don't know how to set yourself up for that if you're not right here. So there's stages that you got to take in order for you to get to the next step and build these habits. And now you're winning on a consistent basis. So I know that was quite a lot. It wasn't the topic that I was going to talk about today, but since I saw that, I was like, okay, let's go ahead and talk about it for a minute. Brother Randy said, how do you handle body dysmorphia? I see the questions, and I'm sorry, there's some that really stick out. If anybody's looking to send me a message, you can go to my Instagram, Coaching by Drake, and just send me the DM there. So I know some people said they sent me some stuff, but if I don't see it, I apologize, because I really do want to help people. And I know it's like, it's Friday. People are ready for the weekend. They're ready for the Tyson fight and UFC. So, but when it comes to, Robert, send me the message on Instagram, please. When it comes to body dysmorphia, right? Somebody said, how do I handle body dysmorphia? And I think this would be great. So here's what I'm going to do. Just kind of a setup, kind of like a preface, just to let everyone know. And thank you guys for the likes, by the way. I greatly appreciate that. I really do, really appreciate it. So I'll say cheers to you all for that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give a little bit of my story, right, when it comes to body dysmorphia. And any comments and anything else that I see, I'm just going to, not to be rude, but just kind of ignore that, but just copy the question, paste it on over, and then I'll take a look at it. I won't reply right away because I do have a call at 9, but just to let you all know. Somebody did ask me about how to clean out the gut too, and I'll talk about these later because I'm running out of time. But when it comes to body dysmorphia, I spoke about this at a group home one time, and when I used to be 335 pounds, that was something that I really suffered with, right? It brings back a lot of memories. When I was 12 years old, I weighed 255 pounds. So even at 12, right, I was getting bullied. I was being spit on. I was told I'll never be anything in life. And the other thing is that, you know, going through all of this, when I was a very heavy person, when I was fat, when I was told all of those things, that's what happened, right? That's what happened. And just being very transparent, body dysmorphia is a real thing. I had a lot of struggles, challenges. And let me just tell you this. I'm not sure if any of you seen the movie Central Intelligence. Central Intelligence is that movie with Kevin Hart and The Rock, right? And The Rock got thrown out into the basketball court in front of all his high school friends. He was, you know, a fat dude, and I guess he was singing in the shower. So they kind of like flash back to the high school days when he was this chubby dude. And so he changed his body. He became like a CIA agent and all this kind of stuff. And he reunited with Kevin Hart, who was like the most popular guy in high school. So fast forward. And the reason why I'm saying this is because this is what I relate to a lot. Okay. So now The Rock is, you know, swole, right? And he goes into Jason Bateman's office later on, and Jason Bateman is in the movie as well. And so there's a part where Jason Bateman talks to The Rock, and, you know, Rock is just sitting there, and the guy, Jason Bateman, was teasing The Rock. And he told him, he said, once a fat kid, always a fat kid. Right. And when he said that to The Rock, Rock put his head down and he looked over into like a glass mirror or a glass door, and he saw his reflection. But when he saw his reflection, he still saw that fat kid that got thrown out of high school or thrown into the basketball court in high school. And to this very day, now at 46 years old, when I look in the mirror, I still see that fat kid, that 21-year-old fat adult. Right. I still see that. Right. And I don't know if that will ever leave me. But what I do now, instead of saying, woe is me, I just say, why not me? That's what I was. And now I use that as fuel to become better every single day. So how long will it take to get rid of body dysmorphia? You may not ever get rid of it. Right. Personally, I still struggle with that on a daily basis. So you may see a picture of me flexing my bicep or doing a certain workout. But when I look in the mirror, I'm looking at all the flaws. I'm looking at all why can't this go away? Why can't I get rid of my love handles that still have all this excess skin, right? Oh, my chest, it still has excess skin on the side. That's what I tell myself. But I keep that to myself, and then I execute and say, I just got to go to the gym and get better and make sure that my nutrition stays on point and make sure that I'm targeting these areas, because crying won't solve the problem. Complaining won't solve the problem. Blaming other people won't solve the problem. But executing on a daily basis and building micro habits on a daily basis to focus on that area and feel better here, that's the only way that's going to help me get through this whole body dysmorphia thing that I have going on. And I don't care if you are the CEO of a big, huge company, if you're a bodybuilder on stage, somehow, some way, a lot of us have these insecurities and a lot of people don't talk about them. I don't mind talking about it because I know that my message will help a lot more people, because there's people out there that are saying, you know what, I go through the same thing. I have the hanging arms. I have the inner thigh fat. I have a flat butt, right? And they're going through this body dysmorphia. I used to look like this. Now I look like that. I used to be in my prime in my 20s, and now I'm in my 30s and 40s, and now I just kind of fell off. There's a lot of people going through that. But here's the difference between those who influence and those who actually will tell you the truth. Influencers, not all. There's some really cool influencers that I know. Influencers will try to sell you. I'm just here to tell you the truth. And there's no hiding or holding back, because I know that there are a ton of people who are. But if people keep trying to mask it and only talk about the good and shake their body and hips and their butt and be like, this is me every day, a lot of that is artificial. But people look at that and go, wow, I wish I could be them one day. But the moment that person turns that camera off, there's a lot of insecurities, right? They start putting stuff away. You can't see like what's really behind. You can't see how they're really feeling when they turn that power button off, right? And if you're feeling that way, like if you've accomplished such a big goal, I think one of the best messages I could tell you is that, and this is just coming straight from my own, like I said, like my own testimony, my own story, is that if you felt like, okay, you know what, I've hit a big milestone, right? I've lost 89 pounds. I've lost 120 pounds. Like me personally, I lost 130 pounds and dropped 40% body fat. 30% body fat. That's a huge milestone. But for me to still feel insecure about my body to the point where I will not take like my shirt off in public, to this very day, I still will not take my shirt off in public. And it's not like an ego thing. I'm not like, ooh, I want to do that one day. But it's just like, I would like to, but I still have those insecurities that bother me because I still see that reflection a lot of times on the glass door. And I'm like, dang, I still see that old version of me, 12 years old, 255 pounds, picked on, spit on, bullied, told me I'll never be anything in life, right? All of that stuff. I still see that. But it only gives me enough fuel to keep going, right? So if you're going through that, if you're going through those struggles where it's like, look, like this is what I'm dealing with, right? I've made such huge accomplishments, but I'm still feeling this way. The best advice that I can give you is just keep on pushing forward, because going backwards will get you in a lot of trouble and then you'll have more regret. And I don't want anybody to end up with more regret. I want them to end up with more rewards, mentally and physically. So the only way, it's not an option. You have one thing to do, and that's to move forward. And what do I mean by moving forward? I don't want to be vague. I want to be very specific. I want you to move forward with the daily habits, getting up every day and putting yourself first, hydrating yourself with good water, making sure you're letting your body repair more than it's working, because that's how you break down a lot faster. Making sure that you're feeding your body with good food. This way your body can reward you with love. Also, you want to be able to make sure that you're feeding yourself mentally good information. You want to make sure that you're not surrounding yourself with those who have a negative influence on you. And you don't need to feel pressure to impress somebody else. So if you move forward on a day-to-day basis, that's going to help you in the long run more than just saying, woe is me. Okay. So, with my whole body dysmorphia issue, when I used to weigh myself multiple times in a day, I saw the number. Thank you. I saw the number on the scale and I was happy with it. Right. And I hit a target, but it was really like, I was just fixated on the number. And I saw a picture of me when I was 205 pounds. Right now I'm at 237 and I feel a lot better. But when I was at 205, let me just tell you, I look sick. I look really sick. And people are like, dude, your head looks way too big for your body. Right? Because I do have a big old gigantic head. Right? Let's just keep it real. But the thing is that when I look back at the photos told me the truth. Right? But I kept focusing on the scale because I was so obsessed, because it was like, don't be that fat kid anymore. Don't be that fat kid anymore. You got to get down to this. And I did. And when I look back, I'm like, I don't like that. Now what I do is I focus on how I feel and how I look. And that's it. Because nobody's going to define me by a number. Who cares what I weigh? But if people are like, wow, you look great, that goes a lot longer than just a number on the scale. That's telling me something, right? Wow, you're like this fit father for your daughter. Yeah, I love it. Oh, you're this healthy husband for your wife. I love it. I don't want to be defined by a number anymore. And I don't want you guys to be defined by a number anymore, right? Yeah, health is more important than the number on the scale. The number on the scale is an attribute that you can utilize as a tool, right? And I do, when I have my clients who I do coach, I have them focus on other things. And the number on the scale, the weight, comes last. I want them to look at their visceral fat. You're welcome. I want them to look at their visceral fat. I want them to look at their body fat percentage. I want them to look at their muscle mass, their metabolic age. A lot of people don't talk about metabolic age. They're like, what's metabolic age? So before I end, I want to ask you all, do you know what metabolic age means? And if so, just type in a 1. If you don't know, then type in a 2, because I want to be able to give you guys that information. And once you get this information, the best thing to do afterwards is to apply it. Okay, so you might have to go out there and get you this certain scale, or go to a certain nutrition shop and say, hey, I want to get a DEXA scan, or I want to be able to get this certain scale. Okay. And for those who are saying thank you for the advice, absolutely. And this is why I'm doing more on YouTube as well, because I want to do long form topics and content. Okay. So remember, Coaching by Drake on YouTube. It's all one word. I would appreciate if you guys can subscribe there too. Thank you. Somebody said, thank you all the way from Denmark. You're absolutely welcome. That's pretty dope. Getting some love from Denmark. Thank you. So we got some people who know what metabolic age is. Okay. Some people who don't. So for those who don't, cool. Those who do, awesome. Those who you don't, I'm happy to explain. Okay. So here's metabolic age. And I have my own chart, but due to time, I'm gonna just go ahead and expedite this. So I want you all who don't know, or who do know, go to like a DEXA scan shop. You can get a Renpho scale. I have a link where you can order a Renpho scale. And I want you to get your whole body checked. This checks your visceral fat, your body fat, your metabolic age. BMI, by the way, body mass index, that's very old. Okay. I'm considered obese, but my body fat is like 10%. It makes no sense. Okay. Now, when it comes to your metabolic age, I'll just give you my own example. Right now, based on my birth year and date, I was born June 16, 1978. My birth age is 46. So I'm 46 years old. My metabolic age is 37. So that means my lifestyle is 9 years younger than my actual age. That's a great indicator of optimal health, right? But there's people who will step on that scale or get their body scanned, and they're 40 years old and their metabolic age says 51. So you're actually aging faster than your actual birth age. So I always help people to say, get your metabolic age either similar to your actual birth age or lower. The lower your metabolic age is, the better it is, because you always want to be able to age slower. You don't want to age faster. Okay. That to me, that's like number one or two. Body fat, visceral fat is number one, especially visceral fat, because visceral fat leads to chronic health issues. Okay. Somebody asked, do I have a link on my page? Yeah. And if you want to, you can, it should be on my link here on my bio. And if it's not, send me a message on Instagram, please, and I'll send you the link right away. On TikTok, it doesn't work, but on Instagram, it will. So definitely check. And it's scary. I'm going to tell you right now, it's scary, especially more for women. It's scary because if you're 45, 47 years old, there's a lot of women who I help are typically in that range, anywhere from 35 to 60, 70 years old. And your metabolic age says 50 something, you need to take action fairly quickly because you don't want to. I know women don't want to age faster, right? You don't want to age faster. And it is a scary number to see, but it's actual truth. And the truth will hurt. It'll sting for a minute, but that's the best thing that you could do is acknowledge it and say, you know what, I need to start taking action. So I just want to let you know about that as well. Okay. When I was 24 or 25 years old, the picture where I'm 335 pounds, this picture right here, I was in my early 20s. And because of me being 40% body fat. Yeah. And what's your actual birth age? Chastity, what's your actual birth age? Like, how old are you today? When I was in my early 20s, my metabolic age was a 50-year-old obese male. So I was double my age. Chastity said her metabolic age says 51, but her birth age is 44. So you're actually aging 7 years faster, which is not good. So, and it's but now you know, right, that your metabolic age is older. So you want to be able to make sure that you do something to where you can get your metabolic age to 44 or younger. And on top of that, you'll feel a lot better too. When people feel younger, it's always a good thing, right? But when you're waking up, you're like, oh, the cramps in my back, dog. Woo, I feel like that's not good. Okay. You want to wake up every day feeling younger, better, more energetic. And it can be done, right? I don't want you to eliminate the whole thought process of like, well, I'm too old for this. It can't be done. Trust me when I say it can. I got my mom to change her whole lifestyle around in her 70s and she feels better. Right. So, and I of course I have pictures of it, but due to time constraints, I can't pull it up right now. But just to let you know, it can be done as long as you execute the micro habits on a daily basis and you do not quit on yourself. You do not look for the quick fix. You just do it on a daily basis and you enjoy the process. More important than anything, you enjoy the process. And I think that's one of the best things that you can do. Okay. So I'm going to end with that. Just a quick, show off. I always like to show off my clients. Can you all see this right here? Just want to make sure. Let me not move it too much. I want to make sure. Her name is Carol. Okay. And she's been one of my clients. She was with me for 5 months. Okay. I'll finish with this. If you guys can see that, just let me know. That's all. Let's see here. Let's see who can see this. Send me a message on Instagram and I'll send you a link to get the scale. It's called Renpho, and I'll send you a link. Okay. So Chastity says she looks great, right? I'm talking about Carol right here. I'm sipping on Udamati right now. It's this right here. Sorry. And I'll talk about this next time. I didn't talk about it today. But if you guys want to know more about that, I can help with that too. Okay. So right here, I'm going to just expand this picture. Okay. Let me expand it. Okay. So she's 65. Okay. On the left, that was her. And I had her stick with me for about 5 months. And then 5 months later, she was able to flex now. Now, the cool thing about it is the same person, she dropped 30 pounds, but At 65, you're flexing. Your midsection went from being real wide to now being real small. Like, so age, don't let age fool you. That's not the issue. It's here. So when she said, yes, I've had surgery in both of my knees, I have arthritis in my back, will this work? And I said, yes, just rock with me and I'll make sure everything is customized for you and I'll hold you accountable and I'm gonna make sure you have structure. She's like, okay, because my sister's already been with you and she loves her progress and loves what she sees. I said, let's go. So now at 65, that was her transformation. So it can be done. So I just wanted to let you guys know, right, that it can be done. Her metabolic age went back to actually younger than her birth age. So let's not fool ourselves. All right. So just wanted to share that with you all. If you do have questions and I did not answer it, just copy and paste it over to me on Instagram. And I may not get back right away, but I will. If you guys have hit a plateau, if you hit a plateau when it comes to weight loss, the main thing is that you're probably doing the same thing for a long period of time and you're looking for a change. You have to start changing up, whether it's sleep, your nutrition, your fasting. You might have to increase the weight when it comes to working out. Let the number on the scale not just define you, right? You can focus on fat loss. You probably gaining muscle and you don't even know it. So that's why I say, get your body scanned, get a specific scale that's going to show your muscle mass, your body fat, your metabolic age, your visceral fat. Those are very, 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 very important to follow. Okay. I wouldn't get on here and talk and be 11 minutes late for another meeting that I'm supposed to be in right now if I wanted to just waste time. So with that, I'm gonna exit off of YouTube and TikTok. This is kind of cool. I like it. Let me see. I'm gonna leave studio.